Hey guys, in this session we are going to see how to create radio button and how to have radio button default checked and how to show the selected radio button. Now let's get started. I have initial HTML and app.js files created and I referred app.js in HTML page. I have some CSS code just for element purpose and you need to care about that. And here I have two divs, one for having the radio buttons and another for showing the message. As a first step, let us create the radio button. To create the radio button, we can use the input element and here we need to use the type radio. And then let's give some value next to the radio button. Let's say male. Save it. We can see the male radio button created. Similarly, just create another radio button with the name female. So change it. So we have created two radio buttons successfully, but no radio button is checked by default. So to have the radio button checked by default, we can use the attribute called checked. So we can use the attribute checked on the radio button which you would like to select it by default. So save it. We can see that now the male radio button is checked by default. And if you try to select female radio button, still we are able to select the female radio button. We need to select only one gender, whether it is male or female. And to have only one radio button selected, we need to group them into one category. So we can use the attribute called name, and here I say gender. You can give category name anything, and here I am giving gender because that makes sense. So copy that gender name. So now these both radio buttons comes into one category. So now if you go and try select female, now you can see that male radio button gets unselected automatically, and if you select male radio button, female radio button unchecked automatically. And now let us see how to get the selected radio button value. Here you can see that male radio button is selected and female radio button is selected, but how to get the value of select radio button programmatically? So for that we need to access these two radio buttons in app.js. Let's go to app.js, inputs equal to document dot. We are going to use query selector all because we are going to select more than one radio button, and then inside use input and then type equal to radio. And let's print this console.log. Save it and press F12. We should be able to see the node list. So here you can see the node list. Inputs of 0, which is nothing but the male radio button, dot, we can check whether it is checked or not. See, checked, and if you save it, you can see that true. By default, the male radio button is checked, and if you say 1, if you save that, female radio button is not checked, we can see the value false. And now how to get the value of select radio button, and for that we can use the two methods. One is we can listen to the on change event of this radio button. So here you can have on change, and here let's say on gender change. We need to pass the event. Have this function on both radio buttons. Create the function on gender change, and it's going to receive the event from HTML. Console.log, say event.target. So target is nothing but our radio button. Target dot value. The value will be whether it is male or female. When you select female, on, we are getting on, right? So we haven't given any value for that. Go to index.html. I'm going to give value male. Let's give some value to female also. Here it should be female. Save it. And now just select female, male, female, male. You can see. Now we can simply assign this selected gender value to this span. So here we have the span with the ID selected gender. Copy this and go to app.js, const selected gender equal to, so document dot query selector, and then simple here. Now selected gender dot inner HTML equal to if event dot target dot value equal to male. Remember we have given the values here, right? Male and female. So if it is male, then assign the value male, else female. Cool. Now let's go and select female. Now you can see that We can see the value female, selected gender female, selected gender male. We can even have the default value here. So here let's say by default we selected male, so we can have the default value here, and whenever you select female